Well, good afternoon, everyone. As is 1 minute into the post-noon hour, Keith with Positively Osceola, another one of our In the Loop live discussions, and today get to welcome back a friend of Positively Osceola's, and that would be the chairman of the Osceola County Board of County Commissioners, Brandon Arrington from District 3, and bam, there he is.
Hey, Keith, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for spending some time. We're taking a few seconds in the beginning of this just to say that it is a busy time right now. So thanks for being a part of today. How you doing?
Not too bad. Like I couldn't agree with you more. There's so much going on. It's quite unbelievable.
It is. I don't. I'm sure you're the same way. You don't find yourself sitting in a chair very often. So this is kind of like a rest moment.
Yes, it's nice that my door gets to be shut for a moment. That's for sure.
It is. It is. We got a few people popping on. I'm going to go hit that opening show thing and get right into the meat of the discussion today. Is that all right?
Perfect. Sounds great.
Here we go. So again, we get to welcome to our today's In the Loop live talk show with Brandon Arrington, who is the chairman of the Osceola County Board of County Commissioners for District 3. And again, thanks for being with us today. I'm sure your day started out busy as it normally does.
Yes, as we were mentioning before we got on, how I got back from Tallahassee about 7:30 last night. We were up there doing some work with CFX on the extension of Osceola Parkway, exactly. So we were there meeting with FCT to try and get approval to be able to go through Split Oak, and as opposed to taking some of the private property that's in that area. So that approval happened. So we will be moving forward to the next steps to extend Osceola Parkway, working on trying to further that beltway around Osceola County that we've been working on. And as someone pointed out to me, that we've had it as a vision in our community since 1974. So, obviously it's taken a little while to get here, but we're trying to take all the steps to make it happen so we can have a better network here for Osceola County, because we know how fast we're growing, and we also know what our traffic looks like today as well. So these additions will be a great improvement for us all. So, and we're continuing to try and further some other connections with the widening of Point Santa Parkway, as we talked about before. So, but obviously, being in Tallahassee, there's a lot going on up there as well. They have congressional redistricting that they're moving forward today, I believe. And it looks like the maps presented by the governor will be passed, probably on partisan lines, from how I understand it's shaken out so far. But in that special session, obviously, they've taken on a couple other issues. One that is, I get in the news everywhere, if you will say, and that's Disney. And what is happening to Reedy Creek and their development and their authority of their property, if you will, and how they've been able to develop and move forward over time. So I would tell you, from a local standpoint, we were shocked when this came forward, but Disney has always been a great community partner here in Osceola County, and they've taken some great measures over the last couple of years of advancing pay and also providing education opportunities to their employees. So I will tell you, Osceola County will be reaching out to Disney and working with them to try and find a cohesive way to move forward that works for Osceola County, but also works for Reedy Creek as well. And we'll be reaching out to those other parties, the two cities that also make up what is contained of Disney's area and all of Reedy Creek, trying to figure out how to move forward, because we're talking about 3 fire stations, over 200 firefighters. I believe they have over 1,500 lane miles of infrastructure throughout their community. And obviously, when you build all that infrastructure, there's debt associated with that as well. So these are all conversations we're planning to have, and are already beginning to lay the groundwork to have these discussions with the people involved, as I stated. So Disney brought a lot of us here, and it continues to bring a lot of folks to Osceola County. And as I said before, they've been a great community partner. and we want to make sure we can work with them in an appropriate manner so they can still have the opportunity to grow and develop as they have, and have been such great stewards of our environmental lands around their property as well. So a lot of big stuff happening. I know that there's still the decision to actually make it happen is a year away from the state, but we want to be proactive here in our community to make sure we're ready if that switch does get flipped a year from now. So, like I said, a lot going on in Tallahassee. Just got back from there, so it's been moving fast, Keith. That's for sure.
I know. I think most people, and I'm certainly, it's not me teaching this right now. You would be more able to do that than me, but most people don't know what special districts are anyway, and so this is it complicates everything. Certainly Disney being the number one employer in Central Florida. So complex time we're living in. I know a simpler thing, non-controversial. Red snapper season is going to be 57 days this year. There's one for you coming out of Tallahassee. All right. So I appreciate you sharing all that. That is, everything we do is connected to so many things these days. I was thinking as you were talking about to zip back over to transportation, and you said that that's been in the works since the 70s. So if you had to, and this is just me, not put you on the spot, if you had to guess, when will that whole piece around Osceola County transportation speaking, what would you guess that would be when we're like, wow, running through around the whole county, that's pretty much in place now? When would you say that might be able to be taking place by?
I would tell you the leg that we just spoke of about that just got approval up in Tallahassee. There is funding in place, and there's supposed ridership levels that will cover the bond covenants, so that could be moving forward. And actually, the first phase of that is already moving forward, and that's the phase that goes to Narcoossee Road. So As soon as the approvals start to happen, CFX will then again put this back in the work program and have it in a 5-year work program to begin moving it forward. So we should see, if everything continues forward, we should see construction of that roadway, which will go into the Northeast District. And then there's a study of where it currently is supposed to end to bring it down to, I believe it's Nova Road, and then on down to 192 as well. So that all has real good movement. And you could see all of that, or at least about 2/3 of that constructed within probably the next 5 to 7 years. And then depending on the study that takes it from its current terminus all the way to 192, will lag a couple years behind that. And then as we go to the west side, obviously Point Santa Parkway is being widened and extended already to County Line Road, and we're working with Congressman Soto, FDOT, and CFX as well to take that all the way up to I-4 and 429. I think I may have said before a couple weeks ago, we had written letters to FDOT and also had our state representatives and asked Congressman Soto to do the same, to ask that connection of Point Santa Parkway, 429, and I-4 be included in the beyond the I-4 ultimate next step. And that's important because that roadway is going to be getting funded and is going to be moving forward with some of the federal dollars that are in the system. And if we can include that intersection with that overall design, it creates a more cohesive movement of the roadway system itself, because we're able to design it all in one time. So we're able to utilize all the construction that'll be happening at the moment of widening that roadway to extend that system to connect down to County Line Road. And that's a big deal because that's about $1 billion project to get it from 429 to connect to I-4 and bring it back down. So that's moving forward. The Southport connector is also moving forward right now. There is a study being done. They're working on the design elements, trying to find the particular right-of-way currently, and that's the process where we're at. So that also has a great opportunity of moving forward. It has a knockout in the next 5-year work program of CFX already. I think there's a current $500,000 and about 2 or 3 years out from now that begins design, and we'll be looking at permitting and right-of-way. So you could see that section hopefully under construction in probably the next 5 to 7 years, with maybe a completion of about 10. And then it's that last section that will go from the turnpike through St. Cloud back up to 192 out by Harmony and where it comes down from the north. That's the last section that'll be moving forward. Currently, there is not a PD&E on any of those connectivities through CFX. So once we see those first sections start moving, Then we'll be trying to figure out how that cuts through. But honestly, we have to figure it out sooner rather than later, because the amount of growth in that area, we need to make sure the corridor is laid out appropriate, so we're not going back in time and beginning to take more homes than we necessarily have to.
Right. And I kind of smirked when you brought up that the last portion. Of course, that's where I live.
I know. I understand.
And
I
I've got a couple close friends that say, "Geez, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like all this." I'm like, you know what? The first time you pull out of your driveway, in 15 minutes, you're sitting in the air at the Orlando airport. You're going to say, I like this idea.
Yeah. Well, and even for folks who live in St. Cloud, what
Sure.
Southport Connector will do, if we're able to take a roadway from the Turnpike all the way to I-4, the opportunities that'll open up for St. Cloud and Point Siena as well, getting to the Turnpike, being able to move, but also being able to jump over to whether you're going to Polk County, Tampa, or even Disney World or somewhere on I-4. That really changes our movement. And that one connection specifically down at Southport to I-4 and 429 from the Turnpike is huge, not only for our community, because it opens up a lot of industrial opportunities along the Turnpike,
Sure.
for distribution and future jobs as well, which is exciting, because that's, it's a great tax base to have more industrial, and that's one of the things we've been trying to work towards, is balancing our tax base a little bit more, so we're not so heavy residential, but we have more commercial and industrial to help balance out that tax base. That's one of the things we struggle with here in Osceola County as well. So, but it's there's more movement than we've ever had, and there's a lot of excitement around all of it. It's just it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of impact to a lot of land, and so we're doing the best we can, trying to move forward as quickly as we can too. Is what I would tell you on that whole system.
Yeah, and from a layman's point of view, it's like, so we're talking about the outside of the county, the transportation getting from those particular areas across county, like you're saying, I-4 Turnpike. In my case, getting on the Turnpike, heading towards Orlando, and being able to take a left and head to Celebration coming off that Turnpike and not do that UE on 417. That's a game changer for me, where I live. But we're not even talking about the insides of the county that's happening simultaneously. So
that's correct. And to that point, Keith, the Beltway almost mirrors our urban growth boundary, except in the north, where it's kind of almost a little centered on some of the new developments that's coming through, which is some of that well laid out mixed use development where there's interconnectivity already planned, and there's already going to be an expressway coming through before folks move into that community as well. So we're not changing someone's lifestyle after the fact, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is always what happens, and unfortunately, when you build a new road, right, somebody gets affected who lives near it.
Agreed. Well, that's what we could spend 2 hours talking transportation, I'm thinking.
Yeah, we really could, that's for sure. But I'll do a great segue, because we always know that transportation is the issue in Point Siena. I had a great opportunity to be in Point Siena just a week or so ago for the Point Siena Area Council scholarships, where we had a chance to award 4 different students in District 3 in that area down there scholarships to move forward with their education. A lot of amazing kids I got a chance to meet and got a chance to speak to for a little while, and some of the different universities they were going to here in Florida. It was kind of interesting. A lot of them were South Florida or Florida Southern, and staying in Florida, but staying somewhat close too as well. So I know their families were excited that they weren't that far away. That's for sure. And one young lady, I think, was going on to be a doctor. Another young gentleman was, I think, planning on being a game creator, which was something he was very excited about as well. And I guess Florida Southern has a wonderful program for that, according to his parents and him as well. So great opportunity to partner with the Chamber here in Osceola County to be able to present those awards. And they do a great job every year getting in those applications and picking out some unbelievable kids, that's for sure. So really, really good time to be able to go down there and do that. And it's, it's always great to be able to help out scholarships, whether it was through our Osceola Prosper program at osceolaprosper.com, if you get a chance to check that out. But also had a chance to do another scholarship opportunity with Arts Alive here in Osceola County. And I just want to once again commend those folks and those volunteers who raised about $45,000. We contributed about $5,000 from our standpoint as well. So we were really excited to be able to give a bunch of students really good scholarships as well to move forward with their education. And I would tell you, they put together a great program. And so next year, as they do that, I would encourage people to buy tickets, come out and support them. All the funds raised go back to help out either teachers who deal with our education or to scholarships with those kids. So kudos to all those volunteers once again for moving that forward. So, I mean, it's all in there again, Keith, always a great time to help out our youth.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting dizzy. Yeah, I had so many photos. So you mentioned, so you actually, that's Poinciana Council, part of the Osceola, the Osceola Chamber. So how do you get plugged into that specifically as every year? How does the Poinciana Council interface with the county, or you actually?
We've been partnering for a couple of years now. They've reached out to me in the past, and I use my Betterment grant funds that we receive as a commissioner each year. And a lot of what I do with those funds is usually geared towards education,
Sure.
whether that's scholarship opportunities or supporting a sports team helping travel, or whatever it may take to move some kids forward and some opportunities. So we've really been glad to be able to do that. We even partner with Poinciana High School and their shop department, and trying to get their kids to some different competitions throughout the year. So a lot of different uses, and that's one of the things that we do with the scholarship funds as well. So.
And I don't want to miss this point of it. Those kids bring out the food that day under the direction of one of the chefs out there, if I'm correct.
They do. That's one of those service academies they have at Poinciana High School, where every year they come and they give us a great meal, and their professors and their teachers there are very proud of the work their kids do, and it's always great. There again, going back to some of our old conversations, not everybody's going to go get a 4-year degree. A lot of folks are going to get skills and go right into the workforce and have more skills-based training, and that's one of the programs they offer there that really helps kids try and move forward, whether they want to get into the hospitality industry or not. And the same thing with their shop program they have that really allows kids to, men and women alike, get their hands on some power tools and learn what they're able to do with a little ingenuity and hard work.
Yeah, I've been around here in the county long enough to remember some meetings over at OHP with the district and the county, and some different representatives from different pipeline areas, whether it be medical or construction. I can remember those discussions where people were explaining what they meant by pipelines, and now you see them greatly in use between whether it be the county or the school district. You see it quite a bit now.
You do, and it's a great point. I mean, whether it's our school district and under the leadership of Deborah Pace, or Valencia now under Kathleen Plinsky, right, they both have really moved the needle when it comes to skills opportunities here in Osceola County. And whether that's through OTEC, our multiple campuses that we've had, that Osceola County was glad to partner with, expanding, one in St. Cloud and one in Poinciana as well, and Valencia, and some of their skills-based training opportunities they've created, whether it's the Advanced Manufacturing Center or they opened a new one in Orlando, which was wonderful. But they're even bringing some of those skills opportunities onto the Poinciana campus and Kissimmee campus as well. So, there's a lot of great careers out there that don't take 4-year degrees. Whether it's a welder, or a plumber, or just to name a few. Those are great opportunities for you to either work for someone or either create your own small business down the road as well. So.
Good stuff. And I know that you're certainly good relationship with Congressman Darren Soto. He's in town today, as we spoke earlier, and I believe one of the places he is going to is Valencia's Advanced Manufacturing Center. So that's just, again, so much going on in and around the county. Anything else you want to share with us? I know, I think
just a couple quick other plugs real quick. Our Build Back Better grant, we're working on our second phase, where our request currently is about $58 million. We're feeling really good about that, as we are one of the few folks that are focused on sensor technology and development and advanced packaging. So we're really excited to see that moving forward. And there's some other great announcements that are hopefully on the horizon for out there in Neo City that I'll be bringing to you guys in the near future. Also, just want to let folks know who are boaters, Shingle Creek is back open. We have been working for over the past year of doing some dredging of the shoaling that happened at the mouth of Shingle Creek at Lake Tahoe as well, and some other dredging throughout Shingle Creek and even the Thacker Lagoon. which I know this community is very excited to be able to get access back into Shingle Creek. We've had so many hurricanes over the years, and a lot of sand and sediment has been pushed down the creek and been able to almost shut off the creek to the lake from a boating standpoint. So we're real excited to have gotten through that process. I want to thank the City of Kissimmee for allowing us to move the sediment and sand onto their property just north of John Young Parkway there. If you've been wondering what that big mound is, that is sand that we have basically been pulling out of Shingle Creek and setting onto that property. And they were thankful to be able to get that dirt, because I know they're looking to make that area a park in the near future. So they're trying to fill it up. So it was a win-win for all of us. So if you've been looking to get out on Shingle Creek, please jump in your boat. Looks like it's great weather for the weekend, and head on out, which is a good time. And then last, I want to talk about some things that happened at our last meeting with some other commissioners, just to give some folks some awareness. We did pass an agreement for what was $300,000 from Osceola County, and then Commissioner Chowdhury put forward $500,000 from some of her funds to help out rehoming folks and individuals in our community and getting into permanent housing. So she had been working really hard on that for a number of years. So just wanted to give her a kudos and a shout out for all of her work with the Salvation Army to move that forward. And last, I'll wrap up, Keith, with some comments from Commissioner Booth that brought up, and just want to bring us to the awareness that we're going to be looking at in Osceola County. It's an issue I've been talking about for years, so I'm excited to have another commissioner be so passionate about it. And that's standards on our new development here in Osceola County. We have talked for years about trying to increase the architectural standards of what those new products look like. So not only so our neighbors and the new development around us can hopefully be either to the standards we already have or to a better standard than the neighbors that will be coming into. So we think this is a great opportunity to do that and also build value in the new product that's coming into Osceola County. So Commissioner Booth, I know, was working to bring some stuff back to the commission, and I'm looking forward to what he brings back and how I can help him move some of these items forward. Because as I've said before, I've thought about how we change the driveway distance, how we look at widening roads, how many bushes and trees get added to a yard and where they get set at, and also making sure that there's an ordinance in place to keep them having to be replanted if they do die and if they're not taken care of. But also talking about having awnings and different features that are on the front of a house continue on at least 2/3 sides of the house as well. So there's a lot of different options. And one component that had been talked about for a number of years was also maybe perhaps putting solar on all new rooftops here in Osceola County as well. I don't know if that's what it will be on the table when it comes back, but those are some of the things we've talked about in the past. And I'm looking forward once again to seeing how we can do that and improve the quality of what's coming into Osceola County. And that's all I got for today, Keith.
Love it. You know what, when you were saying that, it hit me, certainly not my saying, but the saying of the tyranny of the urgent. And, it's easy to, it's much more simple to lead when there aren't any urgent or emergency scenarios happening. And, it's been a couple of years now plus. So managing things in a forward thinking way is a little more challenging when you have that tyranny of what today is.
Sure.
It's hard to do both at the same time.
It is.
So hats off to you guys for doing what you're doing out there for sure. It's a big bad county with a lot of stuff going on. And
there's a lot of stuff. And Keith, I'd be remiss right now if I didn't also mention, if you are unemployed, underemployed, or looking for a new job, please check out Osceola.org and see what openings might be available here at the county. It's a great place to work with good benefits, and we have lots of positions open. And I would tell you, we are not unique. I would tell you that is the truth for KUA. KUA seems to be doing better than a lot of us, but the City of Kissimmee, City of St. Cloud, also Toho has openings. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell people to check out those opportunities and see if there's something that might fit your skill set.
Well said. It is a time of huge opportunity. I mean, it really is, and you mentioned everything you kind of mentioned today is pretty much attached to an opportunity if you are looking for one. Even when you mentioned the shoal at Shingle Creek, my son, very interested in marine biology, very interested in oceanography, and how those sedimentary elements end up in places. Those are big job opportunities for people out there. I would be remiss if I didn't mention you have another food distribution coming up here at the end of the month.
I do. thank you so much for bringing that up. On the 30th, it's on the Saturday coming up, down at St. Rosalima Church on Pleasant Hill Road. We'll be giving out food to, believe the first 600 families. We give out one package of food per car. So it's first come, first serve. So one package per car. It's a great orderly process we've had and used in the past. And so just want to remind folks that's how we do it down there at St. Rosalima when we do our big food drops. But it's a great time. I always thank our New Dimension High School students that come out and help us, and also all the volunteers from St. Rosalima. They do such an amazing job, and they're so passionate about making sure people have food in our community.
Yeah, it's a good thing. We appreciate you guys very much. It's a big deal. I would imagine we'll swing by and say hello that day. But you're doing great job out there. We appreciate you. So there you have it, folks. Again, another one of our In the Loop discussions with the chairman, the Osceola County Board of County Commissioners from District 3, Brandon Arrington. Thanks for your time today, sir.
Thanks so much, Keith. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day and stay safe out there.
You got it. Again, Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Chairman Brandon Arrington, together making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Take care, guys.